Hey there, everybody. I am Jesse Dollemore, and this, once again, is The Conversation. Brought to you by I Doubt It with Dollemore, a twice-weekly, hour-long news and comment show that you can subscribe to through any podcast app on iTunes or Google Play or wherever else you get your sweet, sweet podcast action. Listen, a lot is justifiably being made about Donald Trump's recent sickening comments in which he aggressively and openly touts his strategy where it relates to the manner in which he personally prefers to sexually assault women.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
Now, those remarks, on their face, should immediately disqualify him from any serious contention in his laughable bid for the presidency of the United States. Here's the thing, though. There's still millions of Americans out there who aren't connecting the dots about just what a monster Donald Trump is. Let's take a moment to talk about all of the bizarre, disgusting, and wildly problematic sexual aberrance Donald Trump has talked about throughout the years. I think in the end, his deplorable comments, coupled with his actions, will paint a crystal clear portrait of a man who doesn't possess the necessary temperament or character to lead this great nation into the next decade. Here are a few of his many statements, other than the ones you've just heard.
I just start kissing them. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
There are several others. Some you may have already heard, and some you likely haven't.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Let's break that down. And here's the beautiful thing. We all have the commonality of language, and we know what he means by that. Does any reasonable person really believe that dating his daughter means to have some innocent little tickle fight after a fun-filled Scrabble party? Please. We know what he means. If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be banging her. That's what he means. Now, this comment, it's sick enough all by itself. Let's turn the perv factor way, way up. Add to the mix that he also agreed with Howard Stern when Ivanka, his daughter, was referred to as a piece of ass.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
What kind of father allows that kind of thing to be said of their child in their presence? What kind of man responds in agreement when told that their daughter is a piece of ass, a sexual object? Well, as universally terrible as that is, how about this?
Now, Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral, and she's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
According to Donald Trump, his 1-year-old daughter, Tiffany, had the legs of her mother, but they were going to have to wait to see if she had... sick. There is no other way to describe this behavior other than by what it is. Donald Trump has shown a pattern of sexualizing children. Now, if you think I'm still reaching, how about this? When Donald Trump talked about how sexy Paris Hilton was before she was even a teenager.
I've known Paris Hilton from the time she's 12.
She's hot.
Her parents are friends of mine, and, you know, the first time I saw her, she walked into the room and said, "Who the hell is that?"
Did you want to bang her?
She is well, at 12, I wasn't interested. I've never been into that.
Right, right.
They've sort of always stuck around that 25 category.
But even at 12, you were kind of like, wow, she's hot.
I saw her at 12. She was beautiful. But honestly, you know, Paris gets knocked and this and that. But she's very beautiful. Her
she dumb?
is flawless. She's dumb like a fox.
Gross. Not only is he, again, sexualizing a child, when asked if he wanted to have sex with her, he doesn't recoil. He doesn't rebuff the assertion. No, he's more like, nah, I've never really been into that. You've never really been into that? Been into? You're talking about raping children, Donald. Not a foot fetish or preferring blondes. Ugh, yuck. That isn't all, though. How about this? A clip in which Donald can be heard talking to a 10-year-old girl about taking the escalator in Trump Tower and turning to immediately remark to someone he's with that I'll be dating her in 10 years.
Thursday night, you're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Who thinks like that? Who encounters a little innocent child and has the thought in their mind that they're desirable enough to have to wait another few years to have sex with? Well, it appears that Donald Trump thinks exactly like that. Then there are these other accounts being brought to light that apparently he loved to walk in unannounced to the dressing rooms of the beauty pageants he owned, where there were often 15 and 16-year-old naked children.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked. Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked, changing into our bikinis. To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him.
And if you still don't believe, after everything I've just talked about, that Donald Trump would do something like that, I will let him tell you himself.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like
everything is
a doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
And if after all of that, you still think I'm being some kind of an alarmist about whether or not Donald Trump is a sexual predator, let's see what his response is when being called a sexual predator. And he wants to be chosen for the same job as Abraham Lincoln. Sorry, Donald, our country is better than that. The American people are more noble than that. And you aren't worthy of the dignity of the office of the President of the United States of America. Thanks a lot, everybody.